Naptown, the city that always sleeps. Most people think nothing happens in this town that is halfway between nothing and nowhere, but they would be wrong. There is plenty that goes on in this town for those willing to look. The crew is back together, being able to put their differences aside for the time being. They are armed with a plan. Seamus is going to convince Day to release all the rifts. But plans often go awry for the team, so Darling and Faye are planning a jailbreak if all else fails. Will they be able to pull this off, or will there be far more arrests in the city that always sleeps? Last time we left off, you guys had decided you guys were going to try to convince Day to help you out. Seamus was going to lead her away with Tanner as backup in case she gave him trouble, while Darling would wait at the police station, and Faye would be a go-between, depending on how the conversation went. You guys start getting ready to do this. Faye and Seamus are going early to set themselves up to find the exact meeting point, since Faye will be going the go-between, as well as Seamus needs to lure Day out of the office before anything can happen. So, Darling and Tanner have a moment to regroup with the Tree Gang, which is a little bit in shambles, and by a little bit I mean completely in shambles, when Bill comes up. So we did some reconnaissance like you guys asked last night, and you apparently didn't like our interruptions last episode, so we wanted to hold off on telling you guys that. I was making a joke because you kept giving them crap for interrupting.
I know, it took me a minute to remember what happened last week.
So we held off on telling you guys, but looks like we're pretty in the red, so to speak. We have most of our warehouses are burned down. We have a little bit of supply left, but nothing to really do much with. But good news is, all of the places we are supplying have been locked up or burned down. So I guess that's the good news. We have a surplus of product, I guess, right now.
And was anyone able to find anyone else? Is there anyone that just didn't make it back to the tree?
We picked up a straggler or two, but nothing super great. It looks like some people may have been arrested and not everyone. It looks like some people may have been arrested, some people may have gone into hiding. There weren't like a plethora of everyone dead everywhere, but our numbers are very much hurting right now.
Well, Bill, we appreciate you letting us know. I think for now, keep everyone that's left to just, as much as possible, like, stay out of trouble. You know, don't put yourself in unnecessary danger, but if you can see if you can follow back, like we said last time, who the Muellers are supplying, I think that's still the current marching orders, or like the places that are serving alcohol that are still open, see if you can find out who's giving them alcohol, I think is the point.
We can definitely send some people out to do that.
But, just like, observe, don't get in the way,
We can do that. We'll stay out of the way and go in small groups, not, a group of 15 of us. We know what we're doing. We're good at this. This is only the second gang turnaround that I've been a part of in this gang that I've been in with 3 months, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing this is not gonna be the last one, but, the future remains to be seen. Uncertainty is a good thing, Bill. It keeps you on your toes, is what I'm saying. I think Tanner's gonna kind of look over at Darling and go, I think I'm gonna have another change of career path.
Yeah, I can't say that I was expecting a different answer than what he had for us, but I was hoping that there were a few more people that he would have been able to find.
No, I agree. Like, I was definitely hoping for more than, what we have left here, but, I mean, also thinking about it, it's like, I don't necessarily need to be a bootlegger, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not what my best career path is necessarily. It worked out for the time, but at the same time, I feel like I care more about the riffs particularly the rifts that are just kind of getting taken for a ride by either the Muellers or to kind of some extent Day and just the city at large than I do specifically about supplying alcohol. Like that I could kind of take or leave. But the Order didn't take care of rifts enough, and the Muellers are just kind of abusing them.
They're taking too much care of the rifts.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. It just feels like someone needs to actually be helping people kind of find their place more than the Order was.
Well, I think that is something that if we can kind of get to the other side of this, we can think about. But for now...
Yeah, we can become the Union of the Tree. No longer the Tree Gang, the nefarious criminal enterprise. Rather, the, utopian tree group, here to help rifts not make the same mistakes that I did. Because Lord knows I did not handle becoming a rift that well. Better than the Muellers, but not great. Not great, all things considered.
I think we can work on rebranding to something different later.
I think what's important is that we keep the tree name, for one thing, and then the other part is that, darling, I don't appreciate the look you're giving me. I love the name, all right?
And look, this is not about the name. This is, I feel like this is like the last conversation we should be having at the moment.
I understand that. What I'm saying is, well, one, yeah, kind of. I understand practical things have to happen, but, I mean, we have to have a reason that we're fighting the Muellers, right? Like, because we're gonna win, I hope, but then what? Like... Is it just back to the Order existing and Day kind of bumbling through trying to arrest rifts? And then in 2 years, we just have a different version of the Muellers show up because no one's, really proactively taking care of rifts,
Yes. I appreciate the fact that you are looking into the future with this. I was about to bring up, presently, here and now, we have a group of about 12 to 20 people left over, and we just sent them off to do stuff around the city and to keep a low profile. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe we should just cease things to keep everyone safe until all of this is kind of blown over.
Well, maybe we do this. Maybe we let them decide, right? We can be clear that we're ordering them into danger, right? And that they don't have to. If this is not something that they want to fight for, I think that's totally fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying that, you're talking about keeping rifts safe and taking care of them. Well, maybe I think we probably need to start at home first and make sure that the ones that we do have, we don't lose anyone else.
That's true. That's fair. No, that's fair. Going up against the Muellers has proven itself to not be particularly safe.
So, I guess next time once this thing is over with Day, we can...
Yeah, try to put everyone as much as possible in hiding,
I think that would probably be the best until, like I said, we figure out all of this stuff with the Muellers.
All right. Unless you guys have more to say about Tree LLC, we'll move over to Seamus. I wanted to make a joke that stands for leaf something, but I could not come up with the clever enough pun to make it worth it. But you still get to hear the uncleverness, so podcast magic. So, to expedite things so you don't have to make 14 dozen checks, Seamus, we'll say that around midday you're able to convince Day to go out for a walk and lunch to clear her head because you guys have been very busy and she has been working basically nonstop, more or less, sleeping at her desk, basically when just overcome with fatigue, not when she should be sleeping.
So we're out on our walk now?
Yes. We'll say you're able, you have enough rapport with her to convince her to take a break and talk with you.
Hey, Day. I'm really concerned on this job of ours.
Arresting a lot of superpowered individuals is alarming, yes. I didn't know that so many of them were bootleggers, illegal alcohol dealers.
Well,
Does everyone with powers break the law?
I mean, it depends on your definition of the law. Technically, what I did before I joined up here was breaking the law. Vigilante justice, yeah, would be breaking the law. But I joined this task force to help, like, protect the city and protect the people from magic, from evil magic. I don't care about bootlegging. Like, that's not why I'm here. I wanted to, ideally, I wanted to find the Muellers and stop them because they have been causing problems in the city for years. And now we're working for the Muellers, and this is a problem.
See, you keep bringing up that the Muellers are bad people, which I'm not saying you're wrong. I have no idea who they are or what they're doing or what type of people they are. But do you understand why it's difficult to just take your word on something, Seamus?
Yeah, yes, I understand that.
Like, I like you. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think we have a good working relationship. You seem friendly. You seem good at your job. But also just, there's someone who's my boss and someone who is my employee. And my employee is saying my boss's 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 boss is evil. So, like, and you don't have any proof. Or do you have proof?
Hey, let me try this. I've never tried this before. And he's going to try to, like, he's going to take off his dog tags, which he hasn't used in forever. And he is going to basically, like, have her take a hold of them as well. And he's going to try to use knowledge of the past to basically show her his experiences, stuff that he has seen.
Cool. We're going to do... I gotta go find the rule book real quick. It's that, like, pushing the limits.
Right, it's using it for something new.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I should have pulled up this rule book.
I like it, though.
No, it's very good.
Yeah, I like what I was like thinking through this. I'm like, how am I going to convince her? It's like, I have these things that let me see the past. Let me just show her.
Right, that was the thing.
It's gonna blow her mind because movies are new.
Are you talking stop holding back or hit with all you've got?
Stop holding back.
Or take the risk.
I think it's
take
the risk.
When you perform a daring, risky, or outright stupid feat, roll plus power. That one?
Maybe. I'm pulling it up now.
I thought there's something specifically for, like, using your powers in a way that you haven't before.
That might be stop holding
back. I think it's
back.
stop holding back.
Okay.
Yeah, when you use your powers in a new and never before seen way or scale, MC will tell you the sacrifice it will take from you. Roll plus logos. On a hit, you achieve exactly what you wanted to achieve and pay the price.
Oh no, roll plus logos.
Roll plus logos.
Bum, bum, bum.
Are you not 2 and 2?
No, he's 3 and 1.
No, I'm 1 and 3 now. One logos, 3 mythos.
Oh, okay.
You're the only 2 and 2 left.
Yeah, when he sacrificed his firearm, he picked up more power. So then I can't even use the knowledge of the past then. That's the thing. That's the rough thing.
You could. These are so bad. Especially for a final arc. Cool. Okay, we're going to say this is a no return kind of thing, because you're going to learn how to be able to do this. But, so it's going to be, you're going to mark a fade or crack and burn all the power tags on one theme.
Like, that's if I fail or just guaranteed?
That's guaranteed.
Oh, good. And what do I roll with?
Oh, wow. Cool. Also, if you, on a 7 to 9, you roll with logos. On a 7 to 9, you replace one theme. On a 10 plus, you mark fade or crack and burn all tags on one theme.
Oh, gosh.
Hey, we're in, you want to do something really crazy and cool, so.
Man.
And I am letting you, like, if you do this, it would unlock the power for future you know.
Okay. So roll plus logos, that's it?
Yep. Good luck.
And the tag that you usually use for...
No, it's just logos. It's just roll plus logos.
Oh, okay.
And so I would have to mark fade or crack, and then it doesn't really matter because I'm probably not getting those tags back before the end of the arc. And even if I lose the theme, I'm not getting a new theme before the end of the arc. So
to be fair, you do have Evangeline, who you could maybe like find something with her to help you out, and you are free. You are hopefully freeing Sylvia.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go for it. Mama didn't raise no coward. Oh, come on, dice. No, it's a 6.
No!
Oh no! No! Oh, that's really bad. So you get to replace one theme, Vinny.
Yeah. Does it have to be that theme or just any theme?
No, it's any theme.
Well, now I don't know what to do to convince Day, because that was like my only thing. I didn't realize it'd be so costly to try.
It was like a kind of a game-changing moment. But I'll describe this while you think of things. So as you try to reach into the past and do more encompassing, because usually you are looking briefly into the past at a specific instant and not just trying to show like a general past misdeeds, and you're also in the location typically where you want to see the past. So this is magnitudes larger than you're used to doing and sharing it with someone else. You call up the past, but unfortunately you just kind of call up your own past, and rather than like showing all the misdeeds of the Muellers, you kind of just show like all the misdeeds of you and your crew.
Oh, good.
Like when you guys broke and entered, when Tanner beat up Martha to within an inch of her life, when you guys started a fight in the middle of downtown with civilians. Well, or not started a fight. We're participating in a fight downtown with civilians with the tree gang. Seamus, this just makes me feel more uncomfortable about you. Not really the Muellers.
Dang, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Yeah, that doesn't help, does it?
Not really. Gonna be honest with you there.
I could try to tell you that there was good reasons for all those things, and I'm not proud of some of it, but I know you're probably not even going to listen to me anymore.
So the way I'm going to rule it is, like, you're not locked out of the conversation. You can still try to convince her with, like, more... I say mundane. You can still use your powers and stuff, but you can try to convince her with, like, through, like, convince roll kind of stuff.
Right.
But you can't try doing that again, obviously.
Right. Especially since that is the tag that is now burned.
But she has a -1 on you now, or like you have a -1 in addition to whatever you add.
Okay.
Because she's a little bit skeptical as you reveal your nebulous past. Well, I certainly hope you had a good reason, but these don't seem to be greatest thing in the world to convince me that the Muellers are the bad guys.
Well, how about this? The Muellers' main business, as far as I'm aware, was bootlegging. I know that you just have my word to take for that, but a lot of their operations seem to be pushing their bootlegging business. Some people I know that I used to work with got into bootlegging in order to basically cut into their territory and fight them back.
That seems like the wrong answer, but okay.
Well, their objective was to try to stop the Muellers in any way possible. And cutting into their business, making them hurt financially, seemed like I can understand why they wanted to do that. Now we have the Muellers seemingly going after bootleggers, and specifically rifts. To me, it looks like they're just trying to recut out the competition.
Well, do we have any locations of warehouses they own or places they're supplying with like a definite link to them?
I don't offhand, but I could probably find out.
All right, make a roll, make a convince roll.
Okay. I don't really think I have anything I can add to this, unfortunately.
I'll say since this is like a decent logical argument, I will not give you the -1.
Okay.
So you're rolling flat.
Don't fail me twice in a row. 5. Screw these dice. These dice are dead.
I was really hoping for the stop holding back because that felt like a really good narrative moment.
Right?
But it's also
This is awful. Hate this game.
well, good news. It's your last arc, so. Seamus, like, I want to believe you, and if you had evidence, I would be more than happy to look at it and do it. But we're in the middle of stopping bootleggers, and just because the Muellers may be the bad guy, is upholding the law for other people who are breaking it wrong. These friends of yours seem to have been bootlegging, and whether or not they did it for the right reasons, it's still a wrong thing to do.
That's fair. No, I understand that. However, I'm concerned about what the Muellers, what other motives they have. Are they just using us, is what I'm worried about, for whatever other gains they want to do. And I know I've not done a great job of convincing you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Seamus. You're on my team. I have your back. And once all this bootlegging stuff dies down, like once we have a minute, when I can get more than, she looks at a watch, 23 and a half minutes of sleep a night, we can look into what else the Muellers might be doing. But right now, we have so many people to process, both riffs and non-riffs, and we have to keep them from blowing up the police station. Like, that Gideon fella is bending the jail bars.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he kind of is, putting it mildly. I don't like him. He is very upset constantly. He yells a lot. And do you know how hard it is to replace cell bars? There's not just like a cell bar dealer downtown who can come in and replace things. So once we figure out this whole thing that we're doing right now, after that, you will have my undivided attention to help you look into the Muellers off the books. But currently I have been putting in 23 hours and 36 and a half minute days. So kind of a little bit busy in my off time. And I'm using those beautiful 23 and a half minutes to sleep. So why don't we pick this up hopefully next week, and we'll see where that can go.
All right. I just hope this doesn't end badly for all of us.
Me too. So Tanner, you are in, like, Tanner and Darling, I didn't mention this when the scene began, but you guys are in position where you guys wanted to be.
Okay.
I'm presuming Tanner could overhear this with how you guys were trying to do things.
Yeah, right. Well, okay, so let's speak briefly then. Kind of out of game. Sorry, this is a little metagamey.
No, that's fine.
Faye's gonna Flappy Bird out of here basically as soon as things go south, and
yeah, I imagine after that second failure, she was heading over to the precinct. Yeah.
And then Darling would already be over by the precinct. Tanner's basically just, in the bushes, as he usually is, eavesdropping.
Aim for the bushes. Aim for the bushes.
I'm trying to think of the right way to ask this question. So I don't want to do kooky Tanner stuff, but would it make sense to try to distract Day?
Since when do you not want to do kooky Tanner stuff?
Well, yeah, that's usually not my goal to actually break the game. But at the same time, if this is just gonna if it buys no advantage, if Seamus can distract Day long enough that me trying to lead her on a merry chase does nothing, I'm not gonna bother. Does that make sense?
I think the consequence is if Seamus wants to distract her, he is losing goodwill fast with her. So if Seamus is actively putzing around, I think she's gonna be something's up. So Tanner doing kooky Tanner stuff
would divert that.
Would divert the consequences for Seamus, but also, depending on your roles, might get Tanner in trouble.
We also, Day and Seamus were gonna, get lunch, right? How much time do they have left in their lunch? Were we, immediately heading back?
She's probably getting, Jimmy Johnson heading back.
You went to the corner hot dog stand and walked through them by the river, eating your hot dog.
Yeah, something like that more so is probably what happened. Where, you guys are going to start heading back. It's not going to be, Faye and Darling have time to do stuff, but it is not a lot of time. So
maybe let me ask this: is it a risk that Day could get back before Darling and Faye are done?
Yes, depending on how Darling and Faye roll, Day could very well get back in time.
Okay, then what I'm gonna say is this: whatever the next corner, if Day was to start walking back, Tanner is just standing on the corner, taking in the sights, just it visibly out in the open. With the assumption that Dave will see him and presumably give chase. So, like, if it has not become very clear to Tanner that, like, they've made it and they have enough time where Seamus is distracting her,
Okay.
Tanner's in the way of her getting back to the precinct so he can run away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Maybe, like, Tanner's halfway back. Like, he just goes to, like, the halfway point between wherever Seamus is and the precinct and is just standing on the corner looking up like, oh, it's so nice out today.
All right. So, yeah, she notices you.
Oh, okay, so she just started heading back.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Tanner. How? It's been a rough night.
Day, you look extremely tired, I'm not gonna lie.
I am.
Have you considered drinking coffee? It's what I do to never sleep.
But Tanner, I don't want to end up like you. You warned me about
I can't
this.
imagine why not. So, Day, am I under arrest?
My guess is you're the bootlegging friend that Seamus talked about.
Oh yeah, tons of bootlegging all over the place forever.
She like does that like rubs like grabs the bridge of her nose like, oh gosh, why today?
Oh, Day, it really is unfortunate that it's just you and Seamus here with no way for you presumably to just immediately have other, more fresh, less unbelievably tired people to chase me, isn't it?
You know, looking back, I think the happiest day of my life was when you left the police force.
That makes sense. Catch me if you can! And Tanner's gonna leave, but before he does, he's gonna look Day in the eyes and go, stumble! And try to, like, force her to fall down. I also want to argue that I should get advantage on every single part of this, because Tanner is not particularly tired. You have described Day as barely able to stand.
I'll give you a +2 on at least to begin with. I think adrenaline will eventually kick in, but for your first couple of rolls, you will have that advantage.
The real question is, can she run faster than my car? All right, so
the problem is if you get too far ahead, she just can't chase you.
Yeah, I mean, I can go slower. This is like the come on, catch up, and then as soon as she gets to my door, I just take off again.
You're gonna do the like Rocky thing where you're driving 5 feet in front of her, and she's like running behind you.
Yeah, that's an 11.
So
she falls on the ground, trying to catch me.
Yeah, she falls on the ground like immediately. She tries to catch you, and you have a little bit of a head start as you start trying to bamboozle her through the city.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
Seamus was with her, right?
Yeah, Seamus is there.
Oh God, what is he doing?
Seamus, just understand, Tanner does not trust you, and if you even try to make a move against him, you're getting the axe. So either you cannot chase me, or you're gonna have an excuse not to chase me.
He's gonna give you the Axe body spray.
That was terrible.
So here is what Seamus is going to do. Does Day try to take off after him?
Well, yeah, and then falls like on her face.
Does she keep going after she stumbles? Oh yeah. Here, you try to catch up, and then that way I'll go around and see if I can cut him off.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, sure, cut him off wherever. Pop his tires. Arrest him. Like, oh man, I hate him so much. I hate Tanner so much.
And Seamus is not going to do that. He is instead going to like pretend like go like a block, and then he's gonna go like try to catch up. Like he's gonna basically go to the tree. He's gonna try to see if he can catch up with anyone there to see if they've got anything on the Muellers. Because I think even though that conversation happened when Seamus wasn't there, I think that was still something they had talked about the night before. So he wanted to see if there's any evidence he can take today.
At a certain point, evidence is shared, you know? Even if, you guys are on a team, mostly.
Yeah.
So Seamus heads off to the tree while Tanner is running around and Faye is saying, like, oh, it doesn't even have a first name, mumbling about Tanner. Darling and Faye, how's it going? Are you guys ready to break into...
We are.
Oh, we are.
So Faye flies back to the precinct and shapeshifts into Day.
Make me a shapeshift roll.
Okay.
This is going to be kind of make me a sneak around roll, both of you.
Okay, using our tags.
Yeah, using whatever tags.
I would say Caitlin and I have a plan here. I guess Darling and Faye have a plan. I don't think Darling is trying to sneak around.
Darling will be playing the part
you
of
can
herself.
use your like charming abilities. You're sneaking in more when you use your abilities to act secretly or deceptively is what it says for sneak around.
Okay.
Like
Okay, that's
It is-
deceptively is fair.
yeah, you guys aren't like sneaking as in like the like tiptoeing around, but you guys are going places you're not supposed to be going.
All right, not that I needed these tags, but I am planning on using control the will of others and center of attention and distraction.
All right. I'm assuming you got like a 15.
14.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. Faye, Day, whichever one you are now.
I'm gonna do shape-shifting, make others focus on each other, not me, and someone has my back.
Sure.
Okay, that's a 9.
All right. Since Mandy succeeded by so much, I'm just going to rule it as a complete success for both of you.
Woo!
I mean, she got a 14, so it just feels bad, but like, Mandy did great, and then the person who looks like a cop didn't.
Right, yeah.
Well, and I think the other thing, too, is like, Darling is trying to be distracting. Like, that is what is going to be happening here. So.
Right, yeah. I am not the center of
So
attention.
what does your plan look like? You guys said you've planned. What do you look like going in?
So, Darling, as soon as Faye turns into Day, Darling goes, oh, shoot. I take it didn't go so well. And she pulls out some handcuffs that Darling happens to have lying around.
For those listening at home, Cody is sitting there. His eyes go wide, and then he turns around to look at Mandy, turns back and crouches at the camera, looks again, and then says, "Go on."
I just like this thing where Darling's like, well, obviously I have handcuffs, just in case.
Of course she does. And she hands them over to Faye and puts out her arms.
Go on.
This is not the start of that kind of a scene,
Yeah,
guys.
it's nude, folks. We save that for nighttime.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Um,
It's called Afternoon Delight for a reason, Caitlin.
Faye puts the handcuffs on Darling and goes in the front door.
No, you gotta paint the picture better. Like, we need it more vivid.
You're coming with me.
All right, so you guys...
All right, I can make that into a soundbite that I can play over and over and over again to myself.
Which part?
I'm not going to answer that.
Now I'm just imagining Cody having a soundbite of I say. Ugh. So you guys make it through the police precinct easy enough. You make it up to the right floor. You're able to be distracting.
The whole time, Darling is just like, I cannot believe you son of a bitch cop. I can get your hands up. Stop touching me. I can stand here by myself.
And the whole time, Faye is just like half wrestling her, like against her, struggling. Like, ma'am, you're coming with me. We're going. And as we get close to the cells, she's gonna wave somebody over. Can you open these? I have my hands full right now.
And while she's doing that, Darling, because I assume this is like a big holding cell, right? They're like keeping a bunch of people. I would assume Gideon is in there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, why would the one he opened not be the one Gideon's in?
So does he notice that we have come in? I am making a scene.
Oh yeah. He does.
Perfect. So Darling pauses in her distractingness, winks at him, and then goes, "Oh, of course you're here. How fucking dare you? After everything you've put me through, now you are here and I'm gonna have to be in a cell with you?"
Ma'am, yes, this is how it is. Can you?
Oh, I cannot believe this. You stupid cops are just, please, this is ridiculous. How am I even supposed to deal with all of these people?
Officer,
and I have to deal with him.
Officer, can you hurry this up?
Oh, yeah, so he, trying to calm this down, he starts yelling like everyone to back up in the cell.
I assume at some point Faye has to take the handcuffs off of Darling because they're not in the holding cell, like, in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
As soon as the door is, like, kind of open and they're putting Darling through, she, like, goes and, like, pushes Gideon and gets physical.
Which is hilarious because Darling is teeny tiny and Gideon is huge.
Tiny little girl.
Okay, so, roll me...
Is there like a making a mess roll? Getting sloppy.
Yeah.
Getting slop.
That's such a good role. It needs to be made specifically for this situation.
I guess this would be like
so
a change
applicable.
to the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because then you get juice and you can kind of like use it to do what you want.
Okay. So what do I roll plus power. Okay.
Also, at this point, your guys' sneak rolls have run out of their ability to help you, so whatever you're doing next will be rolling again.
Yeah. I'm trying to change the game. I'm trying to get sloppy. I think I still want to roll with distraction and center of attention.
Okay. I'm good with both of those, because that's what you're...
At the very least.
You're actively trying to do those.
Ooh, okay, you can say no to this one, but this one was specifically kind of created because of Gideon. Can I also roll with my revenge tag? Like, I'm really packing in this punch. You can say no. It's okay. I will not be offended if you say no.
I think it like it should be a -1 because like you're forgetting to play act then.
It's too real.
That's fair. It's a 7.
Okay. Yeah, because like it's like the revenge. You're like, oh, like I want to hit Gideon. And all of a sudden, you're like, actually, I do want to hit Gideon. You like winked at him, so like
he's getting mixed messages.
Yeah,
he's getting very mixed messages. And he saw you in handcuffs, so
yeah, all right. Well, so the intent here is to basically create a riot so that things end up spilling out of the holding cell. And we can basically, like, certain people are just going to run and book it as soon as they're able to get out.
Yeah.
Right, because the rest of the order people recognize it's Darling.
Yeah.
And hopefully can take advantage of that.
Right.
The one thing I would say is there are a couple of pens, so it's not everyone is in one.
Okay.
Just so, like...
what I'm kind of hoping, too, even if we don't get out everyone, like, if we get out a good chunk of them, like... we can kind of, like, domino effect it, you know?
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to let you guys know, so it's not like... You have the cell with, like, probably a third of the people in them. There's probably, like, 3 cells, and they're trying to divvy it up semi-equally. Okay. But you do have Gideon on your team, maybe?
He can bend bars.
He can. But, so you go in, and you really lean into this punch... and you, like, hit him square in the jaw. And he's like, oh, like, she's just doing this for, like, a play. No, you actually hit him. And then he's like, all right. And just, like, kind of, like, punches you back.
That's fine. My goal here, too, by the way, is, like, when I punched him, like, her arm was just, like, swinging in that, like, hitting anyone else she could. You know, it's like you put your arm back and your elbow hits the bully, and then, it, like, domino effects into a bigger fight. So he hits her, and she's, like, flailing backwards. Like, there is no gracefulness in this. We are going full hog sloppy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you do take a damage from that, though. Like, because he didn't pull the punch either. Like, you didn't pull the punch. He didn't pull the punch. A fight has started.
He's also isn't he, like, my rival or whatever? I can't remember the name or whatever it's called.
Nemesis, yeah.
Nemesis. He's my nemesis.
You guys aren't really friendly.
No. We might actually be fighting a little bit.
Which is a bold move, considering he has, like, what, 1.5 feet on you?
Oh, he's giant, comparatively.
Because, what, you're, like, 5 foot even, and he's, like, 6'5".
Less than that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, so he had to like bend over for you to hit him in the face, and then you actually hit him, and he's like, what the hell?
He was going in for that kiss, and then it was like, ha! Anyway, okay, so he punches me back, I take a damage, and I'm flailing.
A tussle has started. Cops are coming in, trying to break it up. People are getting in on the brawl. People are trying to duck out. Faye, Day, whichever one you're pretending to be. I don't know how to address you right now. A, go. What are you doing?
I think she's doing her best to try to look like she's getting in between people without actually doing anything. Like, she's working very hard at looking like she's trying without actually impeding anyone from getting out. So she'll, like, try to step into the fray and then, like, soccer player style, like, fall backward without actually getting hit. And I want to see if I can grab the keys from the officer who actually was there and open the door.
I was going to suggest that.
Just add whatever tags you want to do to this. Like, I can give you a name of what you're doing, but I don't think it matters. So just like Roland, you know how mixed successes and successes work in this. What are you using?
Yeah, I'm going to make others focus on each other, not me. It's an 8.
All right. So I'll give you a choice. You can either be noticed getting the keys, or you can actually get punched.
I'll take a hit.
All right. So to do this convincingly, you're like, oh, I'll fake this out. But Darling actually started a brawl. Fists are flying. You're like, oh, they won't. Oh, no, they just punched me. And then you're like, oh, wait, I look like a cop. I don't look like...
Yeah, I do not look like Faye.
So you take a couple points of damage.
Okay.
But in this, you're able to, like fall backwards, bump into people, and get the keys that you were looking to grab.
Okay.
So, Darling, at this point, is going to rush back up towards Gideon and, like, grab his shirt as as high up as she can grab his shirt, pull him down to her, and she's gonna go, look, I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Get everyone out of here. And then she just, like, pushes him, but, like, she has no strength, realistically, so she's just, like, it just looks good. And then am I able to get out of the jail cell?
Give me a convince roll first for Gideon.
Okay.
Not that he's, like, specifically hard to convince, but he's, like, in, like, a battle rage kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, this is exactly what would have pushed him over the edge. Right.
So it's like you're trying to talk to a raging barbarian right now, which is not always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna use control the will of others, and I don't think I can use close confident because we're
I'm sorry, but
no. because of the relationship we have. But I'll do control the will of others and center of attention because I'm trying to, like, bring his focus to me. That is a 9.
All right, so as you do this, like, he's, like, mid-swing as you, like, get him, like, at a point where you can do this, so you're going to take a point of damage.
That's fine.
As he, like, hits you, but you are able to convince him, and, like, he kind of, like, snaps out of it, and he's, like...
He gets it.
He gets it, he, like, tells you to fuck off, but then he does leave, he does start getting people out.
That's fine.
He starts tussling with other people instead of you.
Yeah. But it's more of, like, he gets it, so it's, like, tussling with quotes around it. It's like get people out of the cell.
Yeah.
And, like, I think him being in the cell and in the order, at some point, somebody can probably yell, like, go, get out, or whatever.
Yeah. People are starting to really exodus now, like, as they, like, they've basically turned around where it's like, oh, the cops are now getting trapped in the cell, and it's like all of a sudden like, oh, the order people are on the outside, and where are the keys?
Yeah, well, and I assume, these are order people, so, like, there's gotta be some crazy stuff happening. Like, someone's bringing, like, a rock into the room to make a wall, or, like, I don't freaking know. It's
all of our viewers, if you want to do some crazy fan animatics of this fight, go for it.
Go nuts.
This would be a
Go
great
ham.
scene.
Gideon does, like, while he's like herding people over, he does let you know that this was his idea, not your idea. He's only doing it because he wants to, not because you told him to.
I roll my eyes and give him a thumbs up. Am I able to find Faye Day?
Faye Day is unlocking their cells, I presume.
Okay.
So yes, she is outside and easy to find.
Because you can shapeshift, my love, Darling is going to grab her and say, "I'll see you on the other side," give her a kiss, and turn into a bird. And I'm getting out.
This looks really weird if any officers saw this.
Well, but okay, part of it was me trying to, like, I was acting outrageous and almost drunk was kind of so they're just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
This girl's nuts.
My way of looking at this still, though, is like, my headcanon is every time you kiss Faye, she's just like taken off guard, like, "Hey, wait, come back, I love you." You know, because like Darling just like kisses her and moves on, and Faye's just like, what, come back. Just every time. And I know this is not how, like, Faye's in a very committed relationship, whatever. It's just how I imagine it every time it happens.
Happily, I'm sure.
Do you need me to roll for that, for my escape?
No, you're good.
Cool.
You're good. You've been rolling enough.
Great. Yeah, so I get the heck out of there. And I think Faye and I, like, we didn't establish this, so if you really want to shoot me down, go for it. I think we had a meeting place, when, like, we obviously had one, when it wasn't like we were on the steps and she transformed into into Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably met, like, a block over, and you're probably, like, where you met up, and that's like, you'll rendezvous there.
That's where I headed.
Cool.
So I just left, went to that place.
Faye, what are you doing?
So I think what I'm going to do is let myself kind of get carried out of the building, like with the kind of crush of people. And then at a certain point, like in the throng, like just shapeshift into another order member. And then once I'm out of the building and to the rendezvous point, shapeshift back into Faye. Do you want me to make a roll for that series of events?
Yeah.
This is after, like,
make me a sneak
things,
around.
I guess.
Make me a sneak around roll with that, because you're trying to be, like, blended into the crowd, sneaking, you know.
Yes.
Sneak just has such a connotation to it, you know.
Right. Yeah, it's sneaking in plain sight.
Yeah.
So I'll use shapeshifting and make others focus on each other, not me. That's an 8.
What about driven? All right, I have
men of power.
Won't take no for an answer. Won't take no for an answer. Close fast friends.
How about basket weaving?
So yeah, you're able to mostly get out. Yeah, I think your shape-shifting powder. Like, I don't know. It does. You get out. It's fine. There's a lot of people.
I feel like there might be people who, like, saw Day in the crowd of people.
Here's what I'll say. You haven't completely mastered shape-shifting into other people immediately from one form to another. So there is a brief moment where you are yourself in this crowd of people.
Okay. Sure.
That's a good way of doing it. There's your mixed success.
Okay.
Or maybe, like, you can usually do it, you just weren't thinking about it, so you, like, dropped it and then brought up another one instead of just overlaying them.
Yeah. It's harder to do it without grounding myself as Faye.
All right. While you make your exodus, Tanner, how's it going?
You tell me. I'm running.
All right, make me just like another run, because you did a hypnotizing roll.
I did do a hypnotizing roll, but I have a question. So Day is just behind me chasing me, right?
Yeah.
Do I feel like she's gaining on me or anything?
Do you want her to be?
Okay, I'm trying to think of the right way to explain this. If I didn't feel like I could handily keep ahead of her, I would try to get to my car and just, like, kind of start driving off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say Tanner's pretty fit with his lifestyle, and I think Tanner is pepped up on probably coffee and adrenaline.
Always.
And maybe a little bit of anger with everything that's happening, and this is him, like, taking back control.
Now I have to think about something. Day doesn't have a car, right?
She does not. However, I think the point where you're at, where you're being fueled by a lot of things, where Day is running on empty, you can probably keep ahead of her, you know. It might be different.
I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. I'm trying to decide if I think I could drag her someplace that would incriminate the Muellers, but I'm also kind of thinking maybe I don't bother.
I'm going to say the Muellers
I'm thinking I just don't bother. I just don't bother.
Yeah. I would say that you probably can't do that because the Muellers are smart enough to cover their tracks, especially with them ramping up bootlegging operations.
Well, and it's like trying to drag her like all the way back to the tree so that she could get the evidence that might have been gathered by the tree gang is just not worth it. So, I think what I would do then is kind of try to like run away and like get enough of a lead that I can loop back and then get to my car. And I think if you want me to roll for that, I don't really have anything for that. Except maybe Mobile Slayer's Kit, because that's my car. And I'm using my car to help in my getaway.
You're trying to get to your car is what you said, though, so I don't think...
Yeah.
But you can still have that +2 since she's super tired.
Okay.
I'll give you that, but I'm not giving you your Mobile Slayer's Kit.
That's fair. Oh, hey, I did a 9.
Cool. So you are able to keep ahead of her enough. I think more of the problem is not getting too far ahead.
Oh, wait. Sorry. No, that would be an 11. It's +2.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to keep her exactly where you want her. She's just out of range enough that she can't catch you, but not so far back that she feels like she can't. You know, it's like, I'll catch him like right around the next corner. You know, and by the time she realizes that you've gotten your car, you're like, later, and like book it. You know, you lead her on a chase for probably a good like 15, 20 minutes and then get out of there, you know, because there's only so long you think before she realizes to pull in just some beat cops to start chasing you, you know?
Right. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, and I mean, it can't take them that long to do this or they like Darling and
right.
Yeah, so just get caught.
You give them more time, which is... flashing back is more than enough time to get away, you know.
Yeah.
So you drive off, and I'm assuming you're heading back to the tree. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't think that I need to pick anybody up, right? Like everyone else should be able to take care of themselves.
I'm assuming that's the rendezvous, unless you guys had a rendezvous somewhere else. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
No, I would think so.
All right. So as Faye approaches the meeting spot. You look around and you don't see Darling anywhere, which is a little odd. And then you see Martha step out from around the corner with a dove in a cage, and it says, "Looks like someone's been a naughty bird." And that's what we'll end.
Oh no! Oh no!
Hey Wanderers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Naptown Chronicles. If you want to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, you can check out the Wandering Gamer Network website. We also post Let's Plays that we do on YouTube under the channel Wandering Gamer Network. On Twitch, we can be found at Wandering_Gamers, and you can follow us on Twitter at the WGN Podcast. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. The intro and outro music was composed by Caitlin Balgman, who voices Faye in this podcast. All other music is openly licensed or in the public domain. Now, sleeper, it is time to rest, and remember, it is the gods who envy us.